All right, very cool.
Cool. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes, wait for everybody to jump on board because we are about a minute early. So I'm just going to run through the presentation and then you speak at the end.
Sounds like a plan.
There we go. So yeah, 8 p.m. We should have people jumping on now.
I'm just answering a gazillion messages as I sit here.
No props.
Nobody can see your screen if I text you right now, can they?
You can see your screen, just put your camera on.
You can see my screen, oh, like here, but not my phone.
No, they can't see your phone.
No, I can't see your phone.
Hey guys, if you are joining this call for the first time, just give us a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for a few people to jump on the call, so we'll probably start in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Hey guys, for those of you on this call for the first time, I'd like to welcome you. We're just giving it a couple of minutes before we get into everything, so please be patient, but we'll probably be going in the next 3 or so minutes. My phone is just going crazy at the moment.
Yeah, me too.
Check it out. People are telling me to smile for the camera.
Who, you? Yeah, you gotta smile. Isn't it funny that it's only in the network marketing world that you're never allowed to have a bad day or like have a moment, you know what I mean? And how's it going?
Yeah.
Great.
Everything is awesome.
I mean, it is right now, but I'm just saying in general, you know?
100%. Cool, so I'm gonna just load up this.
Where are you? That's a cool background.
I'm at Shay's house.
Oh, cool.
It's quite trippy when you see it. Cliff, just tell me if you can see my screen there. Cool. Hi guys, for those of you here for the first time, I'd just like to welcome you to this call. We are going to start plus minus 1 minute.
Yeah, I see wealth generators.
Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. So I'm going to start. I want to firstly welcome every single person, and especially our special guest, Cliff Braun. Cliff, we're actually doing a call now, and to everyone else there, we've got people on this call from Europe, Poland, Slovenia, a couple of guys in the UK. We've got people in Namibia on this call. Who else we got? We've got some people up in the States on this call, some people in Botswana. So we've got people all around the world as we start this out. So that makes me really excited because we have a global opportunity or a global product, you know, at our fingertips. And so just, to start off, so we're not complete strangers, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Graydon Boswell. I've basically been unemployed for, let's say, going on 5 years now. And just to tell you a bit about me, so we're not complete strangers, basically my story is about 4 years ago, I met a really successful American guy. And at that time, I was busy working, 3 or 4 jobs. I was, in college, because I was always told the way to get ahead in life is to work really, really hard, go through high school, get your degree, and boom, everything will be okay for you. And I kind of remember going through second year at varsity and studying and seeing, how everything was starting to pan out. I took a look at my career choices, and I just saw that the amount that I was going to get paid when I started for the amount that I've invested into studying was poor. And so I think, I prayed for an opportunity, I asked for an opportunity, and eventually I met this, successful guy, and we became pretty good friends. And I asked him, what do you do? And he said to me, how do you become successful? How do you make a lot of money? And I said to him, well, if you work really, really hard, then you'll be successful. And I think a lot of us, especially those of us who are on this call, will probably agree that that's what we have been told. But every single one of us knows somebody who works really, really hard but probably isn't successful. So the truth is, that can't be the truth, because if hard work was the only, way to become successful, then there'd be a lot more wealthy people in the world. And so he proceeded to tell me that there's a couple of ways to make a lot of money. But the first way is, you got to get involved in something big before it gets really, really big. And he said the second thing is you've got to follow people who have the success that you want. And so I listened to this and I thought to myself, well, why should I listen to a guy that I barely know on how to become successful? And he said to me, well, Graydon, at 19 years old, I was a petrol pump attendant, but by 25, I'd made about 10 million US dollars. And I was just blown away by that. I couldn't believe, what it is that he was telling me. And so what happened was him and I ended up working together. And as you saw in those previous pictures, we built a very successful business. But I'll tell you more about that later, and I'll tell you more about this guy later. But a few months ago, he, introduced me to a new concept. And to be honest, when I first heard about it, I was pretty skeptical. I didn't really want to listen more. I was pretty closed off to it, but he just sent me the information anyway, and he just said to me, look at it when you want to. And so when I looked at the company and what Wealth Generators is about, to be honest, I started to hate it because I liked it so much. Everything that I saw, I was just getting more and more excited. And so I want to ask you guys who are on this call for the first time, a few questions. Who here wants to make more money? Who of you wants to drive a new car? How many of you guys want to travel? Who wants to help the unfortunate? But most importantly, how many of you wanted to start your own business? So many of us want to start our own things, but then, we shrink our dreams to match our income. When we're young, we have these ambitions of what we want to do, who we want to become, where we want to go. But, life hits you really, really hard. And I've realized as you get older, life doesn't get easier. It gets more and more challenging. But one thing that helps a lot along the way is making more money. And so as we go forward, what's the most expensive thing in the world? No, it's not your girlfriend, definitely not your wife either. But the most expensive thing going forward is having a closed mind. So for those of you on there for the first time, I'm going to show you some things that will blow your mind. Some of you probably won't believe that it's happening or that it's true, but it is happening. It is a big deal, and they're calling this one of the best kept secrets in the world at the moment. And so as we go along, there's a lot of trends in the world at the moment. The whole sort of old system of going to school, getting a job, whatever, is slowly starting to die out, especially now as the internet has started to take over. I mean, you would never have thought a few years ago that you could become a multi-millionaire by becoming a YouTube celebrity, by having a taxi app like Uber or something like Spotify. Everything in the world is starting to trend online, applications. It's insane. And I think it was Bill Gates who said, if you are born poor, it's not your fault. But if you die poor, then it totally is your fault. And I think today, especially with cell phones and the internet and all these kind of things, there's a lot of opportunity out there. And one of the biggest trends, especially online at the moment, is that Forex. So for those of you who've never heard of Forex, it's really, really exciting. And I'll tell you why. Forex at the moment is trading about $5.4 trillion US per day. Okay, it is insane how big this economy is. So for those of you who are in South Africa, you know, basically what the Forex market does in one day is what the South African economy will probably turn in the next 3 or 4 years. And so a lot of people are flocking to Forex because they've seen these crazy stories of how young people are turning $100 into $1 million in 3 or 4 years. I mean, it is phenomenal what is happening with this platform. But also, obviously, all the good that comes with Forex, a lot of sort of, let's say, bad things that come with it too. And when I say bad, not super negative, but it takes a long time to understand these kind of things, okay? And so with Forex, it can take 10,000 hours to learn how to do it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have 10,000 hours to learn something new, okay? I want to make money like yesterday, okay? Also, it costs a lot to go on the courses, to be plugged into everything. And so what happened was wealth generators saw this and they thought, you know what? We can do something better. We can actually do something about this and we can help a lot of people manage their money better. So the information that I'm going to share with you guys, generally, Forex was actually only accessible by people who were worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. So only in about 1996 was Forex actually opened to the public. But only in the last sort of 5 to 10 years have people started to get involved in the Forex market too, because all the platforms, the internet, a bunch of stuff has helped us along the way. If you don't know anything about Forex, do not worry. That's what WG is here for. And so what wealth generators came out with was basically their motto is bringing Wall Street to Main Street. And what that means is basically taking the experience of people who've worked in the financial markets for 30 or 40 years and basically giving it to the little man. And I'll go more into that just now. But what we've got here is 3 concepts to our company. We show people how to find money, we show people how to grow money, and most importantly, we show people how to keep money. Because it's not about how much money you can make, it's about how much you can keep at the end of the day. So how the find part works is we give people money education. Show people how to handle it, how to get out of debt faster, how to get rid of those loans. You know what I'm talking about, those credit card loans, those little debits that come off at the end of each month and you're like, oh, damn, I forgot about that one. How to handle that stuff. Because you know what's crazy is we go to school, we go to high school, we go to college or university and we never get taught financial education. And this is something that absolutely blew my mind. I met with a guy and I said, you know, if the world was more financially educated, you know, a lot of people would have more money. And he said, yep, but if that really did happen, he said most banks would be out of business. You see out there, ladies and gentlemen, there's so many people that are, you know, willing to take advantage of you because you don't know what you're doing. You just kind of put your faith into a system. I don't know if you guys saw, but in South Africa, 17 banks have just gone to court for rigging our currency, which is crazy. And so people don't even know what is happening out there. But now we've got an opportunity to take full control over our money. And so what are we? Wealth Generators is a financial fitness company. People say, what is financial fitness? Well, we show people how to become financially fit, how to handle money better, how to make more money, and just overall be a financially healthier person. So going forward, we don't make money from people's trades. We make money from people's monthly subscription. And just to touch a little bit more on that, we're not giving advice. We're not a financial services provider or anything like that. What we purely are is like a research/education company where we've done a bunch of research with unbelievable experts on the markets and how they're going to perform. You choose to follow that information or not. So just how Forbes magazine thinks how the economy is going to react, we are basically the same kind of thing. And so here's something that blew my mind. The best performing fund in the world last year in 2016 brought in a return on investment of 49.1%. Okay, this was a fund in America. The investment of this fund was $2 million US. Okay, so that's about 26 million rand. Okay, probably just over €1 million. It is a huge amount of money. I don't know about you guys, but most people do not have that kind of money. And so what happens to me, and what this American guy, Cliff, said to me was that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And the reason is because it takes money to make money. And if you don't have money to do your own thing, you're always going to be stuck working for the person who does have the money. And this is what makes me angry and gets me like really fired up, is because if you look at our system, the gap between rich and poor is very, very evident. And why does it happen that way? Because the people who make a lot of money They have kids, they send their kids to the best schools, therefore they get the best grades, therefore they get the best jobs, therefore the cycle just continues. So if you don't have the money, how do you get out of the system? How do you do it? Wealth Generators has the answer, and here's how. We are extremely highly regulated by the Securities of Exchanges Commission. So FINRA, the SEC, all the kind of basic commissions that you need to watch a company is watching us. The FTC, every single guy. So we are regulated every single day. So every bit of information before we send it out there, before we publish it, before anything happens, has to be regulated by a bunch of different companies and go through a bunch of regulation. We also have an A rating at the Better Business Bureau, which is crazy because that's a higher rating than Microsoft, a higher rating than Apple, and a higher rating than Amazon. It is phenomenal. And so here's the first thing that blew my mind. Now, obviously, the past performance does not guarantee future results, but here is something that's crazy. If you save your money down here, if you put into a bank, you're going to get 5.5% a year. The best returning fund in South Africa brings about 15% a year, and the best performing hedge fund overall in Africa brought in 28%. We've designed a product now. This is called the FX multiplier. It's bringing an average return of, to be honest, the last 5 months, it's brought in over 8.5% per month. But we just like to under-promise and over-deliver and say it brings between 6 to 8% per month. So basically what that means is what wealth generators could potentially do in 1 year is what your bank account will only do in the next 12 to 15 years. And so what that's created is basically that whole 40 to 50 year plan has now become a 3 or 4 year plan. And to me, that is really exciting because I see a lot of people investing money, saving money, but the way inflation's going, the way the economy is going, saving your money doesn't help. You know, Warren Buffett basically said that the only way to make money is to invest it. Napoleon Hill, the guy who wrote Think and Grow Rich, said there's 2 ways to make money. That's people at work, meaning having your own business, and that's money at work, meaning having money work on investments for you. And so what's exciting about Forex, people say, well, great, and if this technology is so great, why don't the banks use this kind of algorithmic technology? How do you think the banks make money? You know, if you try and log into your bank account generally between 12 and 1 o'clock at night, you can't because your money is being traded on the Forex markets. It's crazy. And the banks give you about a 0.01% return on investment. Okay? How scary is that? So that means if you get 5%, the bank's basically making about a 500% return on your money by giving you 5%. And so if we looked at this at an average, you're looking at about a 72 to 96% return. Obviously, the past does not guarantee the future, but think about that. 72% means every time you hit that, your money doubles. How long is it taking your bank to bring in that investment? Well, guys, overseas, especially in the States, this is a very cool algorithmic trader. It's a high-frequency, low-risk trader. It brought in close to 1,000 pips last month, but it's been averaging about a 4.6% return on investment. Also, basically what a bank does in a year, this thing is doing in a month. From a month-to-month basis. Imagine every month being the equivalent of 1 year in the bank. It's phenomenal. But last month, this thing actually overperformed and brought in a return on investment of 6.3%. So what I love about these products is that you're not tied into these things. You can put money in today, take it out tomorrow. It's not like a retirement annuity. It's nothing like that. You have full control over your money. In this specific technology, you can choose to pull out of a trade. You can choose to trade. You can follow our signals as well. It's very, very cool. Okay. And for me, this one was stellar. This product has blown my mind. And how this one works is, this is based on the information that our traders give. Now, we've got an unbelievable trader, an actual anomaly, people call him. His name is David Bush. You can look him up. He's been the #1 trader in America for the last 2 years. And his equity portfolio last year brought a return on investment of 737%. Now, mind you, that is at a full risk. That is risking all your money. So obviously, we never recommend that. Please do not ever do that. But if you were looking at a 10% risk on your money per month, you would have had about a 73% return on investment. And even the year before that, about 83, and the year before that, I think it was somewhere around 94%. And so what's crazy is that the biggest, like I said, the best hedge fund in the world costs $2 million. This thing is less than a couple of $100, and you can get the same signals as what people have paid millions of dollars for. And so If our company does not make you money over the next 6 months, if you make any losses or anything like that, the company has a 6-month money back guarantee. So if we don't make you a profit over the next 6 months, we reimburse you your money. So worst case scenario, if you lose, you win. It's flipping brilliant. And in 5 years, the company has never had to give anybody a penny. And so what I did was, now please, it's obviously past does not guarantee future results. I'm not giving advice, but I'm showing you the potential and what is possible with the numbers. So if you take a look at the left there, $1,000 into an account, let's say your savings account, and it bought you 8% a year, your $1,000 would double up in 10 years' time. Okay, so in 10 years' time, you would have $2,290. If you put $1,000 in the best investment that I could find in Africa for the next 10 years, and you got 28% every single year, okay, this is an anomaly. Normally it's about 15% a year. You would have $15,000. Then I took a look at WG and what the multipliers bring in. I said put $1,000 in for the same amount of time, okay, but let's give it even a little bit less than what Wealth Generators is actually performing at. If you had $1,000 for 10 years over, and you got 67% per year, you're looking at $678,000. You're looking at 40 times, well, in that case, in the end, almost like a few 100,000 times more money in a much shorter period of time. And so imagine even just getting this account to $100,000 and just living off the return on investment of 6 to 8% a month. That's that's $6,000 or $7,000 per month as a residual. Never having to work for it, just letting money work for you. So carry on doing what you're doing. Stay in school. Stay with your job. Carry on doing whatever it is that you're doing, but know that you have something that is working on the side for you. And so what I love about this too, and what I'm really passionate about, is having a business opportunity attached to it as well, a word of mouth referral. People say, great, and why would the company do something like this? Well, if we look at how the world is today, everything is going this way. Look at the gym. You refer 5 people to the gym, you gym for free. Look at Facebook. How did Facebook go? Word of mouth advertising. WhatsApp, word of mouth advertising. Instagram, word of mouth advertising. None of these companies spent money on actual billboards, TV commercials, or anything like that. Everything was done through word of mouth referral. And so people say, well, why did this company do it? The same reason. Wealth Generators initially started off as a broker, but they found that something like 96% of the customer base was through word of mouth referral. So they said, well, to hell with having an advertising budget, let's just pay the people to promote it instead. And so if we refer people to this platform, we get paid for it. So take a look at this. I'll show the prices at the end, but if I refer 3 people to this product, my product's free. And if my 3 friends, do you know what, this product works, I really, really like this, I want to share it with 3 of my friends. If they did the same thing, you'd make $500 a month. Not a huge amount of money, okay? In South Africa and Africa, it's a pretty big amount of money. But that extra $500 a month, if you just took that, put it into a multiplier that bought you 6% a month, every single month, month after month, in 7 years, you'd have $1 million US. So as we share it with friends, we get paid more. And so people say to me, oh, Braden, I've seen this thing before, pyramid, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But if you guys go back as to what I just said, we're regulated by the SEC, the FTC, FINRA. So every single day we are regulated. We've been doing it for 5 years. I'm pretty sure after 5 years, the government will be picking up something, and they have not. And so that's why I love this, because we get to tell people about what we're doing. And don't worry, you don't have to do the business, if you're just interested in the product. You can just use the product. But I think eventually anyway, if this thing makes you enough money, you're going to tell somebody. So why not get rewarded for it, okay? And so as you build the company plan, they reward you. iPads, there's trips, they actually buy you a car, Rolex watches. I mean, this is incredible stuff. And to be honest, when I saw this, I was just like, there is no ways that this could happen. But it's happening. I mean, Wealth Generators now has about 30,000 customers worldwide. In South Africa, there's a couple of hundred. Europe, maybe a couple of thousand. But what's exciting is that we have a worldwide opportunity. So I'm all about that laptop lifestyle. And one of the biggest reasons I got involved in this is because no disrespect, but I've seen how my parents have grown up. I've seen how my grandparents have grown up, and I'm looking at most of my friends, and 99.9% of them are not living a life that they want to live. So why would I follow people? Why would I listen to people that don't have what I want? Whenever I think about making money, it's not really about the money, but it's about what the money brings. It's about the lifestyle. And, people can say, oh, your money is the root to all evil. In the Bible, it says the love of money is the root to all evil. I don't love money. I enjoy making it. But what I love is the lifestyle that it can bring. Because money is going to determine what you do for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not. It's going to determine what car you drive, where you live, the clothes you're going to wear, who you hang out with, where you're going to go on holiday. That's what it's about. And so I think back to my parents. My parents got divorced really, really young. And we always struggled. And even now we're struggling. On the outside, we look like we're doing really, really well as a family. But the truth is we're not. And what's scary is I've met thousands of people who on the outside show, oh yeah, we've got the nice car and we've got the nice house. But then you walk into the house and the cupboards are empty. There's no furniture. I can remember days going by where we could only eat popcorn for breakfast, lunch, and supper, or bread with syrup on top. That's all we could afford. And growing up, I think about when we had cricket tour and hockey tour and stuff like that. Sports tours at school. I could never go on them because my parents couldn't afford to send me on. And I thought about the future, and I thought about having kids one day, and I thought about my son or my future daughter. And one day, them asking me, saying, hey, Daddy, can I get this? Daddy, can I get that? And the thing that would absolutely break my heart would be saying, sorry, son, I can't afford it. And if I have to say those words to my kids, I will probably end my life. And the reason I say it is because I want to be a warrior for my family. I want to be the person that goes out there and people say, holy flip, there goes Graydon Boswell, the man who actually made a difference in his life and many other people's lives. Like on my tombstone when I die, the pastor's going to say, here lies Graydon, a man who lived an absolutely phenomenal life. But this isn't about me. This is about you, okay? This is about what you want in your life. And so if you're skeptical, fine, be skeptical. But here are the packages. So this is ranging from anywhere from about $200, let's say $189, up until $335. The package I recommend is the one in the middle. Why? Because if you refer people to it, you'll get paid a $75 commission for referring people to the platform. So as soon as you buy a package, what does that entail? Number one, international business. So every single country on the planet, we can do this business, okay? How cool is that? And people say, why would I want to do that? Well, you just don't know where it's going to go. I've got a guy in Slovenia who was on this call. I never knew him, but I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew him. I've got a guy who's in Poland on this call. I didn't know him, but he knew somebody who knew me, and he said, hey, I want to be on this call. And so we've got something that is now worldwide. The world is such a small place. So when you join, you get a website set up. You get a whole education platform. So for those of you who want to learn about Forex and get more into it, we have a whole university on Forex as well, where you can book consultations with these people who are, big into the Forex game. You can book sessions, private sessions with people to help you coach you on money, what to do with it, where to put it, which is very, very cool. And if you refer 3 people to this platform on any of these packages, this following month, those 3 people use the package again, you'll get $250, to put into the market. And so, without further ado, I'd like to hand over to a man. I think we'll cover, all the objections that you can go through, but most importantly, what to do next. This guy totally changed my life. A lot of people ask, how did you meet this guy? And I said, well, I met him in a bar, and people go, what kind of bar? And I'm like, not that kind of bar. But Cliff and I have been working together for 4 years now, going on 5 years, and I can honestly say that I'm so grateful to have met somebody like this, because without this man, I think I'd still be stuck in that same bar. I would still be around the same people, and to be honest, I was going nowhere very slowly. And I just think about the friendship we developed as well, and being able to travel to different countries. But just to give you a bit of background on Cliff, and not to tell you his whole story, but 19 years old, petrol pump attendant, 25 years old, made $10 million in the industry, lived next door to Britney Spears, and partied with Mike Tyson and P. Diddy. He's lived a phenomenal life, but even though he's crazy busy and he's now the master trainer of wealth generators as well, he's managed to take out a little bit of time to speak to us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hand over to the man, the myth, the legend, Cliff Braun.
Dr. Boswell, can you see me?
Hey. Yeah, I can see you and I can hear you.
Very cool. Great presentation. I lost my voice. I've been on a flight almost every 2 days, and I'm about to go on the March Madness tour, in which I'm going to be in a different state almost 3 times a week for the next like 6 weeks. And a lot of people say like, well, why do you even work that hard? You don't need to. And I think it's just that like, I like the feeling of forward progress. And my story is very similar to Graydon's. My parents were divorced and my mom really struggled to raise me and my brother. She did a good job and she worked really hard to make sure that we always had the things that we needed. We just didn't always have the things that we wanted. And growing up in Southern California, it's a really nice place. And a lot of people had big houses and nice cars. We lived in lower income housing. So we were able to live in like a nice area, but our rent was only like $400 or $500 a month or something like that. And so I was around all this nice stuff, and I just remember thinking, working at the gas station, that life was so unfair, and that it seemed like the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And if you don't have money to start a business, then you're always stuck working for somebody else that already had the money to start the business in the first place. So I felt like the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, the gap is getting wider, and things were getting harder. And so at 19 years old, somebody tricked me into going to a network marketing presentation. And I remember getting there and I was like, oh God, this is such a scam. What is this? And it's like, when you're looking at this, it's like, don't judge it too harshly, because you might be sitting here going, oh, Cliff's not perfect, or Graydon's not perfect, or there was a spelling error in that PowerPoint. I didn't see one, Graydon, just saying. But it's like, what is perfect? Is your job perfect? Is your boss perfect? Are your coworkers perfect? I haven't found perfect. In the 39 years that I've been on this planet, every business that I've been involved with has had challenges and has also had amazing opportunities. And I think that's just kind of how life goes. But when you look at Wealth Generators, I've never seen a company like Wealth Generators where it was designed. You see, the thing that I don't like about network marketing, I've been in the industry for 20 years, I've made millions of dollars doing it, and I've helped a lot of people make a lot of money doing it. But the thing that I've never liked about network marketing is that you've always got a few people at the top making a whole bunch of money, and then you got everybody else like chasing the dream. And it almost seems not just unfair, but it almost seems like cruel and unusual punishment when people, I see people in, I don't want to name any names of companies, but I see people in companies and they'll work for like a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and they never get anywhere. And I look at the people at the top of the company making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month, and it just seems so grossly unfair. And so when I flew to Utah and I met with Ryan and Chad and Annette, what I liked about WG is they took all the money from the top of the compensation plan, where normally you'd have guys making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month, and they pushed it all down to the bottom. And so it's a very different compensation plan. But the truth is, I've had some of my colleagues say, why are you in Wealth Generators? You could actually make $300,000 a month in this other company. Well, how much money do you really need? It's like, if I could make $100,000 a month and all my friends are making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, that's a pretty cool world to live in. And so when you look at Wealth Generators, if you actually take time to dissect the compensation plan, which I suggest you do, what you'll see is the most fair compensation plan for a new person that's ever been designed in the history of network marketing. And I think that's something that I can really get excited about. Once you've been in sales and marketing for a long time, you kind of say the same thing over and over and over again. And people have asked me, hey, do you ever get bored of doing the same thing? And I'm like, yeah,
Hey fam, I don't know what happened there with Cliff. Just give me a second. Hey family, unfortunately Cliff's in Colombia and his power cut out and he's lost everything, no data, no Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. But if you guys want to get in touch with Cliff, feel free just to add him on Facebook. He's pretty responsive on there. Follow him on Instagram. But here's what to do next, okay? So the person who invited you to this call or the ones who told you about this call, give them a call, okay? If you're interested, say yes, I'm interested. If you're not, say no, I'm not. I think you at least owe it to those people for getting you onto something like this. Just to touch on something as well, you do not have to get people involved in this business to make money. You can literally just use the product and the product continues to produce results. So you can take a look at our entire history. We've got all kinds of people in South Africa involved on this call, but here's what to do next. Number one, speak to the person who got you on this call. Number two, get started, okay? Buy the package that you can afford. Please don't break the bank, okay? For me personally, I've joined up on the biggest one. Why? Because I believe if you put more in, you're going to put more effort into it, okay? So when you get started, number three, make sure that you write a list of at least 100 people who you think, number one, want to make more money. Number two, want to make more money. And number three, want to make more money. And the reason I say that is because I think everybody's looking for something, okay? And so not everyone is going to get involved in this company. And that's what you got to get comfortable with. Out of a list of 100 people, you might get 20 or 30 people interested. But please, please, please put your right hand up and your left hand on your heart and say, I solemnly swear that I'll not go out there and try and explain it all to my friends. And the reason I say that is because it's important to not explain everything to your friends because they're going to ask you questions that you can't answer. And then you're going to be like, oh, I can't answer it, I can't do it. So we have trainings, we have webinars, we have something happening every single week. So make sure you plug into that stuff before you go and approach your friends or speak to the person who bought you and ask them, what do I say to people? Okay? And so write that list, get people involved and make sure you plug into our home events. Please feel free to add me on Facebook. My name is Braden Boswell. Please feel free to get my number from anyone who's on this call. But we're excited, and I think that's the big thing. There's three kinds of people watching this call. Those who make it happen, those who watch things happen, and those who go, what the hell just happened? And so I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Follow up the person who got you on this call. Let's work together, and WG is taking over the world from millions to billions. Have a good night from Cape Town, South Africa. Cheers.